Then things get really interesting. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ. What does غَيْر mean? غَيْر actually comes from تغير, which means change. Ya Allah, show me the path of this group of people, but nothing like that group of people. I don't want anything to do with this other bunch. Now, who is this other bunch? It says al-maghdubi alayhim wal-dallin. Can you guys tell me some translations that are offered for al-maghdubi alayhim and al-dallin? Not the path of those who've earned your rage or your wrath. You've heard that one? No, those who've gone astray. Yes? Now the thing is, not of those who earned your wrath has the word your in it. The Quran doesn't have the word your. It's not there. All the Quran has is not anything like the recipients of rage. The recipients of rage. Those on whom anger was directed. That's what Allah says. He doesn't mention His anger. He just says there are people who received anger. Keep me away from the people who received anger. When it says ad-dallin, some people translate the misguided. Completely incorrect. Ad-dallin is the lost. Ad-dallin. If it was al-mudallin, you could say the misguided. Misguided means, like if I was misguided, it means somebody gave me the wrong directions. Somebody misguided me, yes? But if I say I was lost, whose fault is it? My own. If I got lost, it's my fault. If I was misguided, then it's the fault of the one who misguided me. The Arabic word for the misguided is mudall. The Arabic word for the lost is dal, which is in the ayah. Dal. Now there are two groups. The group on whom anger is thrown, and the group that is what? Lost. Two groups. I don't want to be anything like them. Neither this one nor that one. Which means they're two very different groups. They're two very different categories. First thing I'll tell you about them is Allah uses nouns for them. Both of them, nouns, not verbs. Even though in English I had to use verbs, because I don't have other ways of doing this in English. So I said, those who received rage. Right? So I had to use the past tense. But actually there's no tense in the word, al-maghdub alayhim. It's just a noun. When it's a noun, what do you remember from a long time ago when we were much younger a few hours ago? What do you remember about a noun? It's timeless. Which means the people who Allah favored, you look for only in the past. But the people who receive the rage of Allah are a timeless problem. You will look for them in the past, you will find them in the present, and you will see them in the future, and you don't want to be anything like them. I don't want to see their path. You know? Now, the ones who received anger, who are they? And the lost, who are they? I'm going to give you a silly example, because that's what I do. I'll give you the example of two of my sons, Walid and Imad. Walid is the younger boy, Imad is the older boy. I'm going to go upstairs for a phone call. They're looking at cookies. There's a plate of cookies. Imad, you're the older boy. Don't eat the cookies. Walid can't eat them either. But you're in charge. Don't eat them, okay? Okay, Abba, no problem. I come back from my phone call. Who's sitting on the couch eating cookies? Both of them. Who should I be angry at? Should I tell Imad, who I told, you're the older boy, don't eat the cookies, or Walid? Who should I be angry at? Imad. Because I told him. He knew what was wrong and he did it anyway. When someone does something wrong, after knowing that it was wrong, I have the right to be angry with them. Yes or no? When someone does something wrong and they were Walid just says, I was confused. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I just did. He was doing it, so I thought I should do it too. He did something wrong, but he's also what? He's lost. And I say, you should have at least asked me. If you didn't know, why would you ask your brother? Why wouldn't you ask me? Right? They're both guilty, but one of them I'm angrier with. The other one, I'm still holding him responsible, but I'm not as angry. So who am I angry with? The one who knew and did the wrong thing anyway. The one who didn't know should have been more responsible, but I'm not as angry, even though that's wrong. You get it? Now, Al-Maghdubi alayhim and Ad-Dallin, the Prophet ﷺ would tell us in explaining this is the Jews and the Christians, Al-Yahud wa Nasara. The question arises, how come the Quran didn't say this is the Jews and the Christians? Why did the Prophet ﷺ, and what's the difference between the Prophet ﷺ explaining it and the Quran saying it? We don't say, صِرَاطَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ غَيْرِ الْيَهُودِ وَلَا النَّصَارَى. We don't say that. And we don't go and say, you don't come to me and say, Ustad Naman, I have a al-Maghdub alayhim neighbor, and on the other side I have some Dallin neighbors. You don't say that. You say Yahud and Nasara. What I'm trying to say is they're not interchangeable. What the Prophet ﷺ has done brilliantly is that he has given us case studies. You know what a case study is? If you want to understand al-Maghdubi alayhim, study the Yahud in the Quran. Not all Yahud. Yahud where? In the Quran. If you want to understand what Dallin means, study who? Nasara in the, not your neighbor, in the Quran. What did they do to earn this? Allah showed us the good path, and Allah also showed us the bad path. Wow, what made them the bad path? Now look, compare the Jews and the Christians. What happens? The Jewish tradition is a great scholarship tradition. I have some friends that are rabbis. It is a profound scholarly tradition. These people, a traditional rabbi studies 12 to 16 hours a day for years. Years. They write, not just read, volumes upon volumes upon volumes to this day. They are incredibly, incredibly well read in their tradition. Their fiqh books are like 10, 15, 20 times bigger than ours. Because every opinion counts. If a rabbi gave an opinion, it's part of their sharia. Huge scholarly tradition. Which means that they're very good at knowing. They know. And they have been that way for a long time. The Quran tells us that they did wrong things before, without knowing or even though they knew. يُحَرِّفُونَهُ مِن بَعْدِ مَا عَقَلُوهُ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. They changed the word of Allah even after they understood it, while they fully know. To do something wrong, when you know it already, you should be the recipient of what? Rage. Now let's answer, why is it the recipient of rage and not Allah's rage? Allah is saying, first of all, Allah is so angry with them, He doesn't even mention Himself next to them. When someone does something wrong, after knowing that it's wrong, and they don't care, and they do it constantly, then Allah does not even like to mention Himself with them. Second problem. It's not just Allah who's angry with them. When people are knowledgeable, other people rely on them. Isn't that true? When knowledgeable people do something wrong, other people follow along and do something wrong with them. So al-Maghdubi alayhim leads to ad-Dallin. The ones who know and do something wrong confuse the people who don't know, who end up also doing something wrong. So they increase wrongdoing in the world. And on Judgment Day, it is not only they that Allah is angry at them, the angels are angry at them, the believers are angry at them, but even the people that they confused are also angry at them. Anger is coming at them from every direction, so putting it in one direction wouldn't cut it. So He says the ones who receive anger. The example I can give you is, if I say someone was beat up. Someone was what? Beat up. Does that mean by one person, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people? You don't know. It could be beat up by a lot of people. They received a beating. I don't know from who and how many. They received anger. Allah did not say by whom and how many. You see? So that's their responsibility. That's the burden they have to carry. We are begging Allah, Ya Allah, don't make us from the people who know and still do the wrong thing. Don't make us from those people. And then on the other hand, we're asking Allah for not being from those who are what? Lost. Oh my God. It's so awesome. One problem is you know and you still do the wrong thing, and the other problem is you don't even want to know. You'd rather be lost. It's not like if you're lost, that there are no directions available. Guidance is available, yes or no? So the fact that you're lost after guidance has come is whose responsibility? Yours. You didn't want to know, you wanted to stay lost. No, don't tell me. If you tell me, I'll be responsible. You ever heard this one? No, please don't tell me. No, I don't want to know. Because if I know, then I'll be sinful. I don't want to be maghdub alayhim. I'd rather be dhalleen. Silly, isn't it? So Allah is saying, because if you just think about al-maghdubi alayhim, then you get scared. I don't want to learn. You get scared because these people know and they get messed up. But Allah says, no, you should not just be from not al-maghdub alayhim, stay away from ad-dallin too. People who don't even want to know. You can't be that either. So you have to learn. And you have to educate yourself. And you have to still respect that knowledge and transform yourself with it. Allahu Akbar. What an incredible balance in this surah. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.